It's Tani Chambers, Life, Business, and Spirit Mentor. And today is Savvy, Single, and Sacred Saturdays. Now, before I introduce the question of the day video, I want to go back to last week's question of the day video. I asked you if you were mature enough to know the difference between a husband and an assignment. And ladies, you sounded off. But the men sounded off about it as well. So that is the reason why this week I'm introducing, and this is the reason why you don't have a wife. So everyone, please put your comments below. It doesn't matter if you're married, if you're single, or seeking. I want to hear from you.
Verse number 17, he asked her for a little water, and she obliged. I'm so far over time. Please forgive me. I'm going to do better next week. Which proves, ladies and gentlemen, that she is a nurturer. And hear me, she has water, he doesn't. She has water, he doesn't. She making more than him. Y'all missing this. He don't have anything, but she has it. And when he asks for help, she never emasculates him. Oh my God, I can't hear nobody. Never puts him down, never makes him feel like less than a man. But says, listen, if I got it, we got it. I can't hear nobody in here. If we in it together, I'm going to stick with you until you get yourself together, because I can see potential inside of you. He doesn't have anything, and she's got a full jar. Says, I'm going to give you what it is that I have, because I see something in you, and I want to help you get back on your feet. And then she volunteers without asking. I've now given you water. Do you want me to now feed your camels? He never even asked. Oh, y'all are missing this, brothers. Y'all can thank me later, but I'm trying to help somebody in the room. A sister who God really has sent to have your back, hear me. When they really have your back, they will not just become invested in you. They will become invested in your ideas. See, the camel was the business. Y'all ain't talking back to me. And when you got a sister that's really connected to you, she gonna come up with ideas, plans, who you need to fire, who ain't good for you, what you need to do to push it to the next level. Because they understand I am not just in covenant with you, but I am in covenant with everything you working on, building on, pushing toward. Because this is a group effort and project. And if they do not have a heart for your passion, they do not have a heart for you. But if they can get excited about what you excited about, that's who God has assigned. She says, I want to feed your business. I want to feed your idea. I want to feed what's important to you. And this is crazy. In 2012, nothing here about sexuality. My commitment does not necessitate me laying down. My believing in you will not cause me to compromise my principles. But when you see who I am, something ought to trigger in you. Says, I don't want to see the business fall apart. I'm in verse 21. Can I give you one more and then we close? All right. Verse 21. After she feeds him with water, she feeds the camels with water. Watch this. Now he steps back and he watches her. He doesn't say anything. He wants to see how she moves, functions, and operates without his direction. The comedian says, two people come up for the date. The one that's the interview and then the real person. My mother put it this way, crazy always shows up late. Yes. Observation will bring you confirmation. You see how a person functions when they don't think you're looking. How do they handle themselves when they do not know they are under the microscope? And here's what's crazy, and a lot of us, brothers, you missed it. After he observes her, after he prays and asks for the confirmation, this is going to mess you up. Then he pulls out the ring. Then he pulls out the gold bracelet. Then he shows her how much he's worth. He does not show his value until she has exposed hers. Now, nowhere, ladies and gentlemen, does she have to show any gold to him, because she's the prize. God. But he doesn't show her what he's working with until he discovers where her heart is. She loved him not knowing he had enough to buy the well. God. Y'all are missing this. But he had to make sure her motives were not wrong. I ain't saying she a gold digger. Y'all ain't talking. But she had to make up in his mind, do you love me for who I am, or for what I can buy, or for what I can represent? But once you show me your heart, I'll show you what's in my hand. And we do it backwards. We show what we have at the beginning, buying up everything with no commitment. Y'all ain't talking back to me. Amen. Walking them all through your house and the Negro in an apartment. Y'all ain't talking back to me. Letting him drive your car. You better ask why he lost his. You're not supposed to show the gold and the bracelet and the portfolio until you have done a full assessment of the heart. Here's what's strange, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to bid you adieu. It's time for communion. But I got to say something to you. Is that God in the Old Testament always uses a woman as a representation of the church. All right? So whenever you find a woman in the Old Testament before the entrance of Jesus Christ, that woman always represents some personality characteristic of what the church has. So as a consequence, men, hear me, it is not just about picking the right woman. Hear me. I didn't mean to jump you from the back, but it's about picking the right ministry. A man that picks the wrong church will never get close to God. But when you pick a church, hear me, that is not based off of how I feel in this moment, but a church that will help push me to where I'm supposed to go into my destiny, that's when God is aligning you up to understand, even while you are in a cursed place, I got a right blessing for your life. Men, please hear me. Sisters, I ain't even talking to you. A man will never get right with God if all of his friends are heathens. He's got to change his circle. Because when he changes his circle, it'll change his desire, it'll change his behavior, it'll change his aptitude, it'll change what it is that he pursues. A man who is not groomed for responsibility will just visit church but will never become active. Because how you treat your church is how you're going to treat your woman. You got a problem tithing, you're going to have a problem giving. I can't hear nobody in here. You have a problem shouting, you're going to have a problem expressing. You're going to have a problem showing up only once in a while. He's only going to show up in your life every once in a while. How he treats God is a reflection of how he's going to treat you. Says follow a man that's following Christ. That's the only time you're supposed to submit. A man that don't know how to submit don't know how to lead. God, y'all don't like me today. I don't know where I am. This is the wrong church. Maybe I should have did this at 11:30. But when you find a man who's after God's own heart, that understands I haven't dotted all my I's, haven't crossed all my T's, but God is still faithful to me. And because he's faithful to me, I got to do my best to be faithful to you. If he's cheating on God, if he's cheating on God, how you expect him to be faithful to you? Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, Rebecca knows how to bind, but she comes from a wicked family. And God's got to take her out of that family. And the good news is her family does not block her blessing. I don't know where you are in this sanctuary. I'm getting ready to close. But God's getting ready to bless you even though you have not seen a model of marriage. Having grown up under a structure of family life. My godson goes to Owens Mills High School, and they had a forum for all of the young men on Friday afternoon. 200 men, young boys in the high school, 200 of them. The question was asked of these young men, 200 young men, this in the suburbs, in the county, where y'all think you arrived. 200 young men, Owens Mills High School. How many of you are in a two-parent home? And of the 200, ladies and gentlemen, 7. Y'all are missing this. 7 out of 200. Because family life has not become a commodity in our community. That's why you come to church, gentlemen. Here is where you learn how to be a husband when you never saw one. You learn to be a father when you didn't have one. You learn how to be committed when you were raised with no discipline. So I need you to hear me very carefully. Hear me very clearly. How you choose your church is a reflection of how you're going to choose your mate. The doors are open, but not for everybody. I want to open the doors very quickly for men who need to get connected with the right kind of church to give you the right kind of instruction, the right kind of principles, and the right kind of direction. In just about 50 seconds, men, I'm looking for you to meet me at this altar, because you're getting ready to get the hook up. God is giving